A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a bold move to defend press freedom, the New York Times has filed a lawsuit against the Department of Defense over new press access policies that critics say undermine journalistic integrity and First Amendment rights. The lawsuit, filed on Thursday, challenges the restrictions imposed by Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, which the newspaper claims violate both the First and Fifth Amendments of the U.S. Constitution. The new rules, implemented in October, significantly alter how reporters can engage with Pentagon officials and gather information. According to the complaint, the policies restrict journalists' ability to ask questions and conduct interviews, labeling such activities as potential solicitations that could lead to the revocation of press credentials. This has raised alarms among press freedom advocates and media organizations, who assert that these changes are an attempt to control narratives that the government finds unfavorable. Charles Stadlander, a spokesman for the New York Times, expressed concerns over the implications of the new policies, stating, "The policy is an attempt to exert control over reporting the government dislikes." The lawsuit names both Hegseth and Chief Pentagon spokesperson Sean Parnell as co-defendants, highlighting the high stakes involved in the battle for journalistic access to government information. The Pentagon has defended its new policies as necessary for maintaining security and protecting sensitive information. Pentagon Press Secretary Kingsley Wilson remarked during a briefing that traditional media outlets were not missed, suggesting a preference for a press corps that aligns more closely with the current administration's views. "The American people don't trust these propagandists because they stopped telling the truth," Wilson stated, emphasizing a shift in how the Pentagon interacts with the media. This lawsuit comes on the heels of a dramatic walkout by several major news outlets, including CBS, CNN, and NBC, who surrendered their Pentagon credentials in protest of the new restrictions. The walkout underscored the growing tension between the military and the press, as many journalists feel that their ability to report on military actions and policies is being systematically undermined. The New York Times argues that access to information is crucial for the public to understand the workings of the military and its leadership. The lawsuit asserts that the Pentagon's policy deprives the public of vital information, stating, "The policy seeks to restrict journalists' ability to do what journalists have always done: ask questions of government employees and gather information to report stories that take the public beyond official pronouncements." The rules, as outlined in a 21-page document provided to reporters, prohibit journalists from seeking or publishing information that has not been explicitly authorized by the Defense Department, even if that information is unclassified or obtained outside Pentagon grounds. This has led to a significant reshaping of the press corps within the Pentagon, with many traditional media outlets being replaced by those perceived as more sympathetic to the Trump administration. Critics of the policy, including the Reporters Committee for Freedom of the Press, argue that the Pentagon is overstepping its bounds by granting itself excessive discretion in determining who gets access to credentialed reporting. Gabe Rotman, vice president of policy for the committee, stated, "The Pentagon's press access policy is unlawful because it gives government officials unchecked power over who gets a credential and who doesn't, something the First Amendment prohibits." As the lawsuit unfolds, the implications for press freedom and government transparency remain at the forefront of public discourse. The New York Times is seeking a judicial ruling to block the enforcement of the new policy and declare it unconstitutional, a move that could set a significant precedent for the relationship between the media and the military in the United States. In the face of these challenges, many journalists continue to report on military actions from outside of the Pentagon, breaking stories that reveal critical information about U.S. military operations. The tension between the Pentagon and the press is likely to escalate as this legal battle progresses, highlighting the ongoing struggle for journalistic independence in the face of governmental control. The outcome of this lawsuit could have lasting effects on how the media interacts with government agencies and the public's right to information about military affairs. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.